Welcome to my weekly video blog for this week. Apologies for the wind. I am in the shadow here of a very interesting building. Built as Leeds Parish Church in the centre of Leeds, the very centre of Leeds here. It has since been renamed Leeds Minster, which is a bit of a misnomer really. Technically speaking, this building here is the only pro-cathedral in the entire Church of England. That is to say, a cathedral which has usurped, I suppose, the role of four cathedrals in the merging of four dioceses to create one super-diocese, where the four cathedrals remain cathedrals in the sense that they have seats of both the diocesan bishop and the suffragan of their area. But this cathedral, well, this church, was elevated to the position of pro-cathedral because it's the primary seat of the bishop of the diocese, which is interesting because before this, of course, Leeds, the biggest sort of city in the diocese, if you like, the London of the North, didn't really have its own geographical cathedral very close by. So there we are. So the other cathedrals are technically co-cathedrals, and this is the pro-cathedral. It's a thing that the Church of England have probably done to save money. They allot money on the basis of diocese, not the number of cathedrals in the diocese. Of course, until now there's only ever been one cathedral in a diocese, but never mind. The point is they pay a certain stipend, and for this area, it's a huge area with four separate cathedrals. That would have been 4 stipends. Now with 5 cathedrals, there's only one stipend. They're not stupid. Anyway, why am I here? I'm here on a half-day trip, in fact, for 2 reasons. Firstly, the bus that serves this place from Harrogate, and indeed Ripon, is the 36, which has just undergone a big revamp, and I did want to see what that was like. Secondly, I was given a free return ticket by my good friend Bev Watson, in fact, and I had to use it by the end of the month, and why not? So I've done it. I've not gone for a full day trip or anything. I just literally came to have a look around the market, to see the cathedral, Minster, pro-cathedral, whatever you want to call this building now, and then go home, which is what I'm going to do. So there we are. There isn't much to say really in terms of this week, and certainly I'm still coming to terms with some of the changes that I've made, and it's still too early to speak about anything like that. Internationally, it's an interesting time as well, with both Russia and Saudi Arabia now are they're all titivating themselves and posturing up over the continuing Syrian civil war, but dominating this week for this country certainly is the fact that our Prime Minister has been to Europe, has settled on a package with them that promises a few things. He's worked really hard to get it. He has worked really hard to get it, but the concessions are concessions that you would expect, I suppose, from a federal group like that, really. And whether any of those are promises that will end up being enshrined in law and then respected is another thing entirely. He's called for the referendum this year. Has to be done by the end of next year. He's called it for around midsummer, I suppose. So now we're seeing who's pro and who's anti, and the campaigning is underway, etc. And I do think that very shortly I shall have to do a proper blog and dedicate it to that sort of thing, because it is a big thing. It is a big thing. Anyway, now I am going to head back because I hope to visit the allotment again this afternoon. Things have kicked off there, finally, with the weather breaking, as you can see. And I might even be visiting the cinema later on, so until next time, people. Oh, while I remember, let's just do the birthdays.
And the birthdays, we only have 3 this week. We've got Simon Flanagan, Jeff Crow and Wayne Sutcliffe. So, very happy birthday to all of those. I hope they eat lots of cake and have many happy returns.